Okay, so lately people have been asking me in the chat if I have some basic tips or tricks that can help them improve their times in Zeepkist. I have laid down some basic rules that apply to almost every map that will hopefully help you guys with understanding the game and improving your times. So the first one, downhill gains speed. This is pretty self-explanatory, I think. If the Zeepkist goes downhill, you gain speed. Number 2, uphill loses speed. Same thing, if you go up, the Zeepkist loses speed. Obviously there are exceptions to this. If there's a booster uphill, you gain speed uphill, but in most circumstances you are losing speed when going uphill. Number 3, steering loses speed. So it doesn't really matter where you are, if you are on a straight, if you are on an uphill, a downhill, in the middle of a corner. If you are steering, you will always lose speed. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing, but try to avoid excessive steering. If it's not necessary, don't steer. Number 4, smoking tires is bad. Smoking tires is always bad. There is no reason to smoke your tires. Smoking tires will lose speed and you will actually turn less, even though you hold your stick or keyboard all the way to the right. If you are smoking tires, you will turn less. Number 5, smooth gains speed. This is the hardest for me to explain, so I will add some examples in a minute, but generally speaking, 80 to 90% of the cases, smoother is faster. This means try to avoid bumping into stuff, try to avoid airtime, and try to avoid your car making noises you don't want to hear. Number 6, airtime is bad. Like I already said in number 5, airtime is not great. Try to avoid airtime whenever possible. Airtime is in general more distance traveled. Like number 7 states, shortest distance saves time. If you have the chance to avoid airtime, try to do so. There are some exceptions to this rule, but I will not cover those in this video. Last but not least, number 7, the shortest distance saves time. Now this does not mean that the shortest distance saves the most speed, so this is not always the fastest line. Keep that in mind. So the hard part about Zeepkist is balancing speed and time. What if you want to go the shortest distance to save time, but the shortest line is not smooth? This means you will lose speed and maybe in the end it will be slower. So what if you want to take the smooth line but you need to steer a lot? This means you will lose speed getting there, gaining speed by the smooth line. Is it faster? Is it slower? This is where you have to experiment yourself, and I would say practice makes perfect. Just try to play a lot, and when you play, try different lines. See what's faster for you, see what's slower, and learn from the experience. Alright, I have this very simple corner, just one corner. And I'm gonna show you the difference between some different lines at the checkpoint you see there. And I'm just gonna let you know what the difference is. So first I'm gonna take a tight line. That was kinda bad, I hit the wall. Let's try this again. So tight line. I get here at 4.5 seconds. So that's pretty quick. I get 108 speed. Now let's try a different line, a little bit longer, but I have to turn less sharp. Now as you can see, I get there a little slower, right? It's not exactly 4.5, it's a few extra milliseconds. However, I gain 3 speed with this. So what does this mean? Let's say the track would continue. This second line, this longer line, would be very advantageous. I have 3 extra speed for the rest of the map. Now if this checkpoint was a finish, You want to take the shortest distance, that 3 extra speed. Doesn't matter, we don't need it, because this is the end of the track. Now let's say I would take this at full steer, so I smoke my tires. Look at that speed difference. "106 is the highest I will get while smoking my tires. Even without hitting the wall, I'm not gonna get any more than 106. It's not faster either with the short line. I don't get there faster, I just get there slower. So try to avoid smoking tires at all costs. Okay, so here I have a simple jump just to demonstrate the difference between a high and a low angle with the airtime. So first the high angle. I'm landing smooth in the downhill, however I only get 175 speed. Now this same jump with a more shallow angle, land clean, 179 speed. Now in this case the time difference is not that much, however the speed difference is pretty substantial. One more time. I picked this random map to showcase why smooth is most of the time more speed. First I'm gonna do the track as some of you might do it. So I'm getting a little air everywhere. You know, it's not a terrible run. But every time I gain some air, I lose some speed. I'm already minus 18. Now let's do the same, but smooth this time. So I might need to take some different lines. Very wide, for example, there. Turn in late here. Now these might not look like the optimal line, but because they are smooth, they are faster. Little too much airtime there. Little too much airtime here. Now that lost me 5 speed. However, I'm not minus 18 like I was before. Alright, so these are some of the basics of Zeepkist. Now, obviously I'm not the best player in the game, so if any of you guys have to add something or if you want to correct me, please do so in the comments. If you want me to cover a subject a little more in depth, please comment that as well. Not promising I will cover everything, but if there's enough people interested in one specific thing, I will see what I can do. Now that's it for this video, and of course have fun Zeepkisting, guys.